How do you pay for med school? We got the experts in-house to tell us how to navigate financial aid, loans, scholarships, and much more. Strong winds and brownout conditions caused a 7-vehicle pileup. Find out how our students jumped into action to join hospital emergency personnel to lend a hand. And I Want to Rock. Find out how a local faculty member is using guitar riffs and rock music to help his students with their lessons. Come one, come all, it's Admitted Student Day. Our New Mexico and Florida campuses are opening their doors to our new students. Get a sneak peek into what's happening. More than 100 of our future doctors matched into residencies. We have a recap of all the excitement and success. All that and much more. So let's get started. Welcome to the DO Pulse, a podcast about osteopathic medicine, community, and education. I'm your host, Sydney Alvarez. This podcast is brought to you by Burrell College of Osteopathic Medicine, and it is sponsored by Western Summit, LLC, a proud supporter of Burrell since our inaugural year. Western Summit specializes and protects medical healthcare practitioners nationwide for all of their medical professional liability needs. Now we kick things off with Match Day. 144 aspiring doctors placed into various residency programs across the nation. Now, some of the key highlights include 40 physicians will train in internal medicine, 43 physicians will train in family and emergency medicine, 37 physicians will train in general surgery, anesthesiology, neurology, psychiatry, and pediatrics. Here's a video of what took place that day.
So we're here today to celebrate the class of 2024's NRMP Match Day, when they will find out where they will go to for residency after graduation starting in July.
I'm nervous, I'm happy, and I'm just so excited. You know, I worked for this for 4 years, and ultimately this is what you work for, so I'm very excited right now.
It's such a whirlwind of emotions. This has been about 10 years in the making to get to this moment, and I'm just excited, happy, everything all at once.
A little bit shocked in the best way. I'm so grateful. My fiance and I couples matched, and we matched to our #1 choice.
This is something we've been thinking about for the last 4 years. So now for it to actually happen, it's surreal. Absolutely, it's hard to believe right now.
I'm so excited for everyone in my class. Congratulations. I hope everyone has an amazing, successful career.
In other news, Burrell student doctors assisted medical staff at Eastern New Mexico Medical Center during a mass casualty event. Extreme wind gusts and brownout conditions caused a 7-vehicle pileup just outside of Roswell. Hospital staff went into emergency mode, calling on all personnel to come prepare for the incoming patients. Here's their story.
You know, you're driving in your vehicle, you're just going down the road, and then suddenly you cannot see more than even a foot in the front of your vehicle. At approximately 3:00 p.m., Eastern New Mexico Medical Center received information that there was a mass casualty incident on the south side of Roswell.
We were told that there was a 10-car collision, and it was a mass casualty event, and they needed as many physicians to come to the emergency department.
So at that point in the hospital, we essentially started activating resources, calling in physicians. And so as the doctors continued to arrive and come in, we ended up with 2 to 3, if not 4 Burrell students.
And I just was kind of mentally preparing for what I was potentially going to be in, especially in my role as a medical student.
What you see in that picture is you see CRNAs and you see respiratory therapists, nurses. The medical students are in there somewhere. And essentially everyone's there and prepared.
We were there ready to go, but we actually I think we got one major victim, and then we got 2 more minor victims.
In the rural markets, it really is all hands on deck. First responders, students, doctors, providers. The students did an incredible job. They were all side by side with the physicians in the room.
I would say that throughout my education, I have been prepared to help and given that opportunity, especially in a moment of need, there was no second guessing it.
Thank you to Burrell. Thank you to the Burrell students. And we really did appreciate having that extra layer of assistance during this recent incident.
Great work for everyone involved, and thank you for what you do. We're going to be shifting gears here, and I'm joined by two amazing guests to talk about Admitted Student Day. I am joined by Natalie Davis, she is the Director of Admissions, and then Austin Gentry, Associate Director of Admissions as well. Thank you both for being on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks. Yeah, absolutely. So Admitted Student Day, tell us about it. What is it?
Sure, yeah, so it is a day where we have all the students who've been offered admission to the college come and visit. For some of them, it's the first time that they've come to our campus in person, and it's really a chance to get to know their future classmates, the faculty, staff, and current students at Burrell.
Right, and it's just so much excitement, so much energy there. It's a full day event, right? Can you share a little bit?
Sure.
Yeah, so we schedule the full day out so they get to get a tour of our campus, hear from different faculty and their different disciplines. So they get to hear from anatomy, OMM, and they also get to hear from our library services and student affairs, and that way they really know what it looks like to be here at Burrell. Yeah,
it's like an in-depth introduction, right?
Yes, yeah, so we do introductions throughout the cycle and the admissions process, but this is now that you are saying you're coming here, we really want to show you all those important details that maybe you weren't worried about before, but here's how we do exams on campus and support services and everything. So that's a big part of it.
But we also make it fun. All right, tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so lots of opportunities for the admitted students to get to know each other. These are going to be their future classmates, future friends, roommates, all those things.
Yeah, they're going to spend a lot of time together.
A lot of time together.
A lot.
So really important for them to have that chance to click and get acquainted. They get to get a little bit of a taste of the community to get to talk to different community partners that come in and visit and things like that.
I mean, it's just so much excitement, and we invited some outside organizations too, right? So here in Las Cruces, we had Visit Las Cruces, we had our financial partners, GECU. Tell us why it was important to bring in all these, outside organizations.
Yeah, so when our medical students come here, a lot of them come from different areas, maybe not from Las Cruces or New Mexico or even the region. And so part of being a Burrell student, we really feel, is being a part of the community as well. And we see that through their partnerships and working with Visit Las Cruces and in different areas in town. So we wanted to expose them to that and show them that when you come to Las Cruces, you're not just signing up to be a medical student at Burrell, you're also signing up to be a part of our great community.
Now, something really exciting is happening. We got 2 campuses. So we were talking about, and everybody was seeing the video from our New Mexico Admitted Student Day. Florida's Admitted Student Day is coming up. That's really exciting because we all get to go. So tell me about Admitted Student Day in Florida.
Yes, so it is happening on Friday, April 5th, so coming up here very soon. Again, students are just going to be enveloped by our Burrell community. This is one of the first large events that we're hosting on our new campus, so we're really excited to get in there. There'll be some of the first people that really get to test out the lecture hall and different learning spaces.
Right, they're going to be the first ones walking into the school. That's super exciting.
So we'll take them around our building, FIT's campus, and just like here, they'll get to talk to the faculty, staff, and many of the current students that we have rotating in the area currently.
So just like in Las Cruces, we're doing similar activities for our students in Florida. But what's exciting to me, I think, and you kind of touch on this, is that it's students speaking with students' peers as well, right?
Absolutely, yes. So even though the class that's coming into Florida will be our inaugural class, or the very first set of first years, we've had 3rd and 4th year students rotating in the Space Coast region for quite a while now. And so several of them are going to come in, they're going to speak with students during the presentation portions of the day. The big pieces will be during our lunch and during our reception in the evening, just that opportunity for our admitted students to really mingle and get to know the current students that have been there in their 3rd and 4th years.
Can we talk about admissions just in general? How do you all help potential students that are interested in Burrell? You want to tackle that, Austin? Or
a few different ways we help them. So one of the first ways is providing general guidance on how they would want to get here. And some of that is going to be the operational side. So you need to take the MCAT, you need to get these certain prerequisites done, but then also looking at the application process. So we provide that type of information, but then also when we're out recruiting and talking with students, it's really casting that vision on here is what Burrell is about, and here's what our students say, and here's different things that we do on our campus.
You know, can we talk a little bit, we're running close on time, but going back to the Las Cruces Admitted Student Day, we all had the opportunity to speak with parents, loved ones, the students themselves. I was just amazed with how excited they all were, and just I was congratulating the parents for all the work that they've done with the students. Did you all feel, you know, something similar?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is for these students, the culmination of so many years of hard work and so many years of their families and loved ones supporting them. So to give them, their families, the opportunity to celebrate too is really a special part of Admitted Student Day.
What did you think?
Well, yeah, one of the things we try to do this year for Admitted Student Day is we have the students by themselves at the beginning of the day to really form those bonds, and we saw that at the end of the day. I saw a student said, hey, let me grab your number real quick, we'll text back and forth. But then we let the students show their parents and families around the facilities, which I think they really appreciated too, because now they got to kind of showcase a little bit about what they're going to be experiencing here.
For
so it's
sure.
great.
You know, Natalie, Austin, thank you both for being on the show. If people want more information, where can they get it?
So for our admitted students who are invited, they can check their emails. The invitation for Admitted Student Day in Florida is there. For others, lots of great stories and videos from both Admitted Student Days on our social media pages too.
Wonderful. Thank you both for being on the show.
Thank you.
Thanks
It's time for a quick break. We'll be right back. How do you pay for med school? We got the experts in-house to tell us how to navigate financial aid, loans, scholarships, and much more. And I Want to Rock. Find out how a local faculty member is using guitar riffs and rock music to help his students with their lessons. This segment is brought to you by Hub Insurance Services. Their team of knowledgeable insurance professionals in New Mexico has the insight and resources to build customized programs that can evolve with your company's needs. Their scope and size enables them to access a wide range of resources, offer a deep bench of industry experts, and utilize exceptional market buying power on your behalf. Work with the Hub New Mexico insurance team to identify customized insurance coverage solutions for your business or personal needs. Find your local New Mexico insurance office today and get a quote.
Your time is now, right here at the Burrell College of Osteopathic Medicine. We have a 99% graduate residency placement and more than 850 physician preceptors, plus a simulation department, gross anatomy, and research labs. We offer mission medicine, a community-based learning experience. We have 2 campus locations, New Mexico and Florida. Go to burrell.edu and apply today. And remember, your time is now.
Hey everybody, welcome back. This segment is sponsored by Hub Insurance Services. Now, navigating medical school financial aid may sound like a scary thing, but it's not. To give us some insight, I am joined by Dr. Marlene Melendez, Director, Office of Student Financial Aid. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Sid. I appreciate it very much.
Absolutely.
I am happy to be here so that we can utilize another mode of and an opportunity to talk to our students about financial aid.
You know, which is very important. You know, when we're doing the show, and I mentioned we're going to be talking about financial aid, everybody's ears just perked up, because finances, they impact all of us. When they think about med school, you know, they think about, okay, how am I going to get through this? So we're going to tell everybody now. But before we get into that, tell us about you and your staff, your department.
Well, wonderful. Thank you for that opportunity as well. So my name's Marlene Melendez. I have worked in financial aid for over 20 years. I have 3 colleagues, an associate director, Timothy Smith, a financial aid director or a financial aid advisor here, Bernice Hernandez, and then we just hired the most amicable person in Florida. Her name's Daisha Holmes, and she is going to help with advising our students in Florida.
So let's talk a little bit about financial aid. Let's start getting into this. What types of financial aid are there?
Well, in medical school, one of the opportunities is really scholarships and grants. Scholarships are a great opportunity for students based on their merit, based on their backgrounds and their environment and where they come from, maybe volunteering, that they apply for as many scholarships as they possibly can. We, our Burrell College of Osteopathic Medicine, actually provide institutional scholarships for our students as well. So our scholarship application is open till April 19th, and we hope that they take the opportunity to apply. But there's also outside scholarships and outside organizations that give scholarships as well. So as they go through this process, one of the things that they want to know is that maybe the first year they don't get a scholarship, but it's really important to continue that task, because not only are students continuing to build their knowledge base and continuing building those relationships in the medical field, but they really need a great CV or a great resume, because they still have to land that residency, right? They still have to match. It's really important that they sort of gear themselves to ensure that that CV maybe has a scholarship. Maybe they won a President's Scholarship, or they got a scholarship from a Tucson Foundation. They really want to make sure that their resume expresses that, so that when they're interviewing for the residency, they're showing that they took the opportunity to just go a little farther, right? That their excellence in academics just proved that they could earn something of value based on what they were trying to do.
So I get the resume part. So, but let's back it up a little bit more. So I get accepted, and I want to learn about financial aid. What do I need? What do I need to bring?
Well, first of all, we provide so many, we provide a lot of information, whether it's via email, whether it's via phone. We can always set up a Zoom presentation. But it's really important that as a DO school and as an accredited school, that we provide the information like a federal school would, whether you're Title IV eligible or not. So we make sure that students have the information about loans. They have the information about a FAFSA application if they're eligible to apply, what that FAFSA is, what that FAFSA provides, what private loans are, what opportunities are there for private loans, going into the interest rates and thinking about origination fees. And so we provide as much information that we possibly can so that the student can succeed while they're here without having to think about the financial hardships that go along with medical school.
Oh, absolutely. You know, let's talk about grants.
Yes.
Okay, so funding is out there.
Yes.
Okay, tell us about grants.
So some of the most important federal grants are the National Health Service Corps and the National Institute for Health Sciences. So the NIH or the NHSC, they provide federal money to states, and states appropriate those funds depending on the student themselves. So it's really important to look into maybe the field that you're going into, because some of the requirements are maybe you're a family physician, or maybe you go into OBGYN. Those types of grants help students find a place to work afterwards, because it provides a service portion to the grant, right? A student, it pays their tuition over the 4 years, but with that contract and with that tuition, a student goes and serves 4 years in maybe a rural area, or maybe in a high need area. And so grants, really, it's an application process. Generally it's annual, and so you really want to talk to a financial aid expert to sort of get those nuances that go along with the applications themselves.
Let's talk about private loans.
Yes.
Okay, that also can contribute to the success of a student. Tell me about private loans.
So private loans are another access point for students in addition to the federal loans, right? In New Mexico, we are Title IV eligible. So students are eligible for both federal loans and private loans. And in Florida, one of the things that the federal government requires is that an institution stay in operation for at least 2 years before they start applying for Title IV eligibility.
Okay.
So our Florida students, we take an opportunity to work with lenders to try to provide those private loans so that those students can attend, or maybe they're just making up a gap of money. Maybe they just need transportation, or they just need living expenses. So private loans versus federal loans. Private loans have different interest rates, and sometimes they're comparable to our federal loans. Maybe sometimes they're even lower because you have a great credit score, or you have a great credit history, or maybe you have a great cosigner. Federal loans take out origination fees. So for the federal government to process the loans, they take a portion of the loan from the student, right? And the student is still responsible for that portion. Private loans have no origination fees. What a student borrows, they get. And so it can often be optimal, right, for a student. And
they got to look at the 4 years. They got to look it's longevity.
All the 4 years,
yes.
right? Because some of the times the students don't understand some of the costs that are going to come along with those 4 years. You have to take your board exams, right? You have to sometimes travel for residency interviews. Maybe you just have to travel for clinical rotations.
Yes.
So we often help see students go through that process and support them through those processes and traveling or whatever other things they're trying to achieve while they're going to medical school.
Now, Dr. Melendez, I know that we have just scratching the surface on this. I mean, I want to talk about, and we're running short on time, state-specific aid, federal aid programs, military scholarships, National Health Service Corps. It's a lot of information. What can you touch on quickly for us?
Well, I think that one of the things I want to touch on is that we have all that information on our website, right? It's called the FAM, or the Financial Aid Manual. And so we go through a series of looking through from our mission and vision to repayment of loans. And that's where you really want to start, because we really discern page by page in that manual opportunities in the National Health Service Corps.
Yes.
Maybe a student wants to go into the military, or maybe they're looking for ways to keep their loan debt down.
Yes.
HPSP, the military scholarships, are a wonderful and noble program that are available to our students. But requirements are important, right? Who you contact is important. So that's why we, as the financial aid office, try to make ourselves as available as possible. So if a student needs a Zoom call, or they need a Saturday appointment, right, because they don't have any available time, our office is really there to help the student and try to approach their finances in the most beneficial way for the student.
Yes.
So that they walk away with the most information and they're comfortable with the decisions that they're making.
Thank you so much for being on the show. I know that we are just scratching the surface. I know we're going to have you back on. In fact, we have some future endeavors with some partnering financial institutions, and we're really excited for this partnership.
Yes.
We're going to have you back on.
Yes.
For more information, they can go where?
They can go to financial aid at Burrell, right? The Burrell Financial Aid page. You can also contact us directly at financialaid@burrell.edu. Our phone numbers, our pictures, a little info is on the website. So please feel free to just contact us. We're willing to answer any questions that you have about financial aid.
Dr. Melendez, thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
And we'll be right back. I Want to Rock. Find out how a local faculty member is using guitar riffs and rock music to help his students with their lessons.
Your time is now. Right here at the Burrell College of Osteopathic Medicine, we have a 99% graduate residency placement and more than 850 physician preceptors, plus a simulation department, gross anatomy, and research labs. We offer Mission Medicine, a community-based learning experience, with 2 campus locations, New Mexico and Florida. Go to burrell.edu and apply today. And remember, your time is now.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Music really does impact our lives in so many ways. In fact, it can even help you with your educational endeavors here at med school. Joining me now, as you can see, I still have Dr. Marlene Mendez here, but I'm also joined by Dr. Gabor Salai. Thank you so much. Now, you are the Assistant Dean of Faculty Affairs and Faculty Development and a Professor of Immunology. Is that correct?
That's right.
Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you so much.
So, not only are you a really smart guy, but you're a cool guy because you like rock and you want to incorporate music in your lessons, right?
Right. So I think, it's very important for the students to see not only that we are professional individuals, but also we are individuals, and how we can bring a little bit of our personality into the classroom and kind of make sure the students become that and kind of see who we are behind just the professor.
And I think it's so amazing that you're incorporating this concept of music and your love for music into your lesson plans. But before we get into that, I want to continue talking about your love of music and I want you to tell us about this with Deep Purple.
So I always liked rock music, and Deep Purple is, you know, the classic rock band, and they were touring the world. I was grown up in Budapest, and I was in Hungary when they came to perform, and I was very lucky to catch them before the show and have them autograph my ticket. So this is a ticket from 1987 in Budapest.
Ah, that is so cool.
So
You
cool.
saw them in concert too, right? Where'd you
I
see
did.
them?
In Dallas, and about 10 years after he did.
Now, Dr. Salai, I know you don't play the guitar, but you brought the guitar here because you had a really cool experience. You invited students to come out and just kind of let loose with the guitar, right? Tell me about this.
Right, so I don't play the guitar, but I'm very interested in electronics. So this guitar was actually made by me with some help. The electronics are completely my own
he made
design.
this guitar. Isn't that amazing? How long did it take you to make that guitar?
17 years.
Oh.
No time at all.
Yeah, but he got it done. He got it done. So I am going to put you on the spot. We're talking about Deep Purple. I know you don't play the guitar very well, but I want you to give us, you know, the few famous chords from the beginning of.
I guess the most famous chord is the beginning of "Smoke on the Border."
I love it.
So it is not plugged in. No.
It's not plugged in.
Would sound much better with some of these things.
And you know, you use this as an analogy with the students.
Right.
Tell me about this. Well, first of all, tell everybody what this is and the analogy with our students.
So these are guitar effect pedals. I make a lot of these. So basically what they do, they kind of color the sound of what people are playing. And I think this is kind of similar to what the medical students going through. So we take in the students, you know, they come with their own individuality, just like the guitars come with their own individuality and the playing. But what we do, I think, with the 4 years is kind of instilling professionalism, instilling being a physician in them. And so just like the guitar effect pedals, they change a little bit, they add something to the music or the musician. We feel that the students being here gain also some experience, and we instill the professionalism of osteopathy.
And you use lyrics from some of our, you know, the most recognizable rock songs to incorporate into your lesson plans. We were speaking earlier, you told me about the song from The Police, and I think the first lyric, I don't remember the name of the song, but Every Breath You Take, that's the song, right?
Yes,
right. So it's a famous police song, and you know, when I teach about the immunology of the respiratory system, I kind of show this video to the students and saying, well, you know, every breath you take, so, you know, explain to Sting. I always believe that learning is telling. So I tell the students, tell the story of the immune system, tell the story to Sting, you know, what happens when you take a breath from the immunological point of view. So I kind of like to bring this together with the students. I think learning is to be able to explain and explain it in a fun way.
Right, in a fun way, like talking about, you know, when you smoke and what happens, you know, every breath you take. You shared little details with me, and you're adding in the medical background into this pop culture phenomenon.
That's right. So if you watch that original video, the official video of Every Breath You Take, they smoke throughout, and we discuss in the classroom what actually happens with the immune system, with the smoke, how that destroys some of the defenses that the students have.
Well, Dr. Salai, thank you so much. Thank you, Marlene, again for joining us here. That is all the time that we have. We truly appreciate it, and I cannot wait to, you know, learn more about your guitar riffs. And thank you for being on the show.
Thank you so much.
So that is our show, everyone. If you have any questions or story ideas, please send us an email to communications@burrell.edu. We'd love to hear from you. You can also find us on our social media platforms. Our handle is @Burrell College. I'm your host, Sidney Alvarez. Thanks for joining us, and until next time.